Today, I'm going to be sharing with you how I helped my client lose over 6 pounds, inches off of her waist, eating almost 700 calories more a day. And we even overcame severe hormone imbalances after being on birth control for years. We had severe digestive issues, gas, bloating, food allergies, sensitivities, and we even were struggling with a very weakened immune system from food poisoning and long-term COVID. She's going to be joining me today. We're going to be going over everything: her diet, her training, supplements, challenges she faced, and everything we did to transform her body from the inside out. So thank you for joining me today. Can you kind of share with me a little bit more about your health condition before we started and why you were coming to me for my healing program?
Over the last year, I felt like my health kind of just really changed. I noticed I was bloating a lot. I was having a lot of gas. I was uncomfortable. My weight was really fluctuating up and down. My hormones were all over the page. Tried to get back into working out. My schedule's super crazy with work, so finding consistency was hard for me, especially kind of by myself, doing that. And then I just think I was exhausted all the time, no matter what I did. I could drink probably like 8 cups of coffee throughout the day and maybe got a little edge of energy and then crashed again. And I just got to the point where I tried eating clean because like my mom knows a lot about that. And nothing was working. And I just got to the point where I was like, that's it. Like, I can't do this anymore. Something had to change. I've tried different trainers in the past. I've tried different diets in the past. It was never a good mix. It was never a good mesh. Nothing that I just couldn't like stick with, and it just didn't work. And so I'd been following you for a while. And then you kind of like popped back up on my feed, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I think this is what I need, especially given like all the health stuff that changed. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna take it and we're gonna try it and see what happens. And then we talked and we started, and it was just a big game changer, especially in such a short period of like time of noticing that change. It was incredible.
I'm so happy to hear that. So I know a lot of women, they think, okay, I want to lose weight. I'm going to aim for weight loss.
Mhm.
So were you initially coming to me to lose weight? I know you tried a lot of different diets out there. What were your main goals and main reasons for coming to me? Or was it more of the bloating or more hormone issues?
It was all the gut stuff. And then the hormone issues had kind of started. And like, I know you work on the whole body, like from everything that I saw, which was huge. Cause I was like, okay, it was a lot of gut stuff. And that was bothering me. Cause like, I could tell, even though I had the weight gain, I knew that was like somewhat hormone related. I knew it was the bloating and the gas. And it's just like, my gut just wasn't right. It was like, I felt like I was pregnant all the time. I was like, something's not right with my gut. I mean, I'm in the medical field, but I don't like to take stuff. I don't like to take medicine if I don't have to. And so I was like, I know there's like a natural way to heal the gut without, here's a pill. Let's see if that works for you.
Yeah. So before you were coming to me, you were struggling with a lot of gas, bloating, that chronic pregnant feeling, bloating all the time, constipation issues. And then weren't we also dealing with hormone issues too? I know we were on birth control for a while. Would you be open to sharing a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I went on birth control. I was probably on it for, I think, what do we say, like 10, 11 years. Probably when I started college, I went on it. It helped with my acne. So that was a big part of it. I used to have bad cramps. So it kind of just helped regulate me, take the cramps down. And then, I don't know, things were just kind of status quo with that. So you don't, I didn't, don't, something's not wrong, don't fix it kind of thing. And then I kind of started reading more and like all the side effects of birth control. And it seemed like I was just checking off literally every box. And I was like, okay, I got to get off this. Like, this is not good. And I always knew birth control wasn't the best thing for you. But like, as I learned more about it, I was like, wow, this is really bad. I was on stuff for my acne over the years. I was on antibiotics at one point, and then I was on Aldactone, especially like the last few years, I had really bad stress. So I tried to come off of it, came back, so I went back on the Aldactone. So I went off of the birth control basically that beginning of the month that we started. So we started the end of January. I came off of it at the beginning of January, and I came off the Aldactone because you can't be on the Aldactone without being on birth control. So I came off both to see if that would help because it seemed like my hormones were even more messed up from the birth control. And you were helping me start on different stuff, like natural stuff, the Harmony, and I had really bad hot flashes. Besides just the hormone imbalance that you could tell of all those side effects. My hot flashes were so bad. I remember it started when I first started dating my husband. I will like never forget how bad they got. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm only like, we started dating at, I was 30. We were 30 years old. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I should not, I feel like I was going through menopause. And my mom and my aunt would be like, it should not be like that. It should not be that bad. And I was like, well, I was like, I'm already having it that bad. And then, so when we started some of the stuff that you put me on, like now my hot flashes, I don't know, I really haven't had them. If I get them, it's maybe like, I feel like a 10-second, like just little thing and then it's gone. It's like incredible. My cramps being off the birth control are like, it's not bad at all. It's super tolerable. I don't have to take Motrin or whatever that stuff is that they, suggest.
Midol and all of that.
That stuff. Yep. Nope. And so I don't need like a heating pad at night, so it's been like significantly better. Pretty regular too, especially for having been on that for so long. You hear all the stories of you might not get it for like 3 months, and it's normally pretty much right on time for the most part.
Yeah. I don't think people understand that when you do birth control and everything, it does deplete your like your zinc, all of your vitamins, your minerals. And when we're on this for long periods of time, it does affect our gut. And with you, when we went towards the weight loss and everything, we had a few different things going on. We had the severe digestive issues, the gas, the dysbiosis, you had food poisoning, which we thought was that.
Yes. That I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
That was happening a lot. That was like a running joke with like friends and family, not so much a joke, not in a bad way because they knew it wasn't fun for me, but yeah, that was getting to the point where I was like, I don't know what I can eat anymore. Like everything was affecting me and it was bad food poisoning.
You were getting it like very often.
I was, yep. It was pretty much regular. I felt like every few months I was having a run of it. If not,
and there was no trigger of it. You didn't know what food, nothing.
Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And I knew about like after 6 hours of eating if I was having it or not, because it was right on cue about 6 hours after eating food. I knew it was food poisoning.
Yeah. So not only did we have the gut issues, we had the food poisoning that we thought was a trigger of a lot of it. We were trying to rebalance out your hormones since we were on birth control for so long, having all these hot flashes. And then the other thing that we were working on too was you had a very, very weakened immune system. And 80%
I was sick
of that immune system, it's in your gut.
Yeah.
So you want to share a little bit more about the immune system, and then we'll kind of go into what we did specifically to get you to heal from everything, balance the hormones, and get you to lose weight, not by focusing on weight loss.
Yes. So I work in the medical field, so we're around people all the time, but I just felt like if I got sick, which was pretty often, it took at least 2 to 4 weeks for me to like recover from it. And if like I wasn't getting enough sleep, which not the easiest thing for me to get, like, I can't fit in really those 8 hours. It's not that easy for me sometimes. That made a big difference. And it's like my mom would take, a supplement to like for immune system, just like a booster. And she'd be like, wow, this works great for me. She's like, I knock it out like that. And I was like, well, mine has to run its course. Nothing works. I was like, I could take the kitchen sink and nope, nothing worked for me. Like I couldn't stop the ball from rolling down the hill. It just was like, okay, I got to let it run its course. And then it just felt like it just kept progressing. Like I was just getting sick more and more. And I was like, okay, I was like, this just isn't working. So,
yeah. And now that we've gone through my whole 12-week program, where are we at in terms of our gut, in terms of our immune system and our hormones?
So hormones are so much better. Like I said, really no hot flashes. I've had a few cycles where that's not a thing. Normally I can tell if my period's coming, more so because the hot flashes really start kicking in. That hasn't been happening even on my cycle. I'm not, like the night sweats at night are so much better, like maybe just a little bit, but nothing like it was. Cramping's better. So overall, I feel like that is significantly improved. My immune system, I've had that tested in the last like month or so.
Yeah, you've been pushing it, babe.
Yes, because I like to live life at the highest of stress. So the last few weeks have been super stressful, and I thought I was going to get sick just because definitely had some lack of sleep, just with everything that was going on. And some of the stuff that you had me on, like the My Community, I took that. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm feeling like I'm going to get sick. So I took that and haven't gotten sick, which is beyond impressive because with the lack of sleep is normally what does it in for me. As soon as that happens, it's guaranteed I'm sick anytime. So haven't gotten sick yet, knock on wood. And then my gut is so much better. I'm having regular bowel movements, which at the time that was not happening. I used to have that and then it went away and I was like, this is another problem. So that's back. Basically, my stomach is so much flatter. Like I don't have that. The gas is significantly improved. Like that's really, it's more of like if I have it, it's like normal,
Like coming with a period, a little
yeah,
bit of
and it's not like
24/7.
not all day, every day. And then I don't feel bloated anymore. Like I can wear clothes again that I'm like, okay. Like that was a big thing for me. I was like, I should still be able to fit into this. Like there's no reason this stuff isn't working. And like certain clothes I would feel uncomfortable wearing because of the bloating and all that. And like I feel like I'm starting to like see the definition in my stomach again. Like even my husband said, like, he's noticed it. I feel stronger. I feel my energy is so much better. I haven't drank coffee since we started this. I mean, I drink that cordyceps and like that's enough for me. I don't need like the coffee I haven't had in a long time, which is kind of crazy, especially when I work like a 12 or 16-hour shift. And I feel like, you want that extra boost. That's enough for me. So everything's just significantly better. I feel better. I'm happier. The stress you've helped me manage how to manage my stress. That's huge. It's been a life-changing journey in like the best way possible.
That means the world to me. I want to share with people kind of the process that I did with you, and I'm going to take it into diet and everything and share how we did weight loss with you.
Okay.
So basically, since you were coming to me and we had all of these other things going on, is what we don't understand is if we just go for weight loss, when we have all these other hormone imbalances, the gut issues, we're going to, and especially for women over 42, we're kind of hitting perimenopause, it's not going to give us weight loss. It's going to give us more stress on our body, throw off our hormones more, make us store the belly fat. So we did the opposite with you. We took you toward my digestive coaching and we spent the 12 weeks doing this. I have a 4R protocol. We removed the common triggers. We wanted to get those bowels moving immediately and start working on adding in natural things. I utilize herbs, essential oils to start regularly balancing out your hormones. We did different things with castor oil packs to support our liver, our kidneys, and over those 12 weeks, as we did a specific protocol for getting rid of yeast, bad bacteria, since we had the food poisoning going on, we did things to get rid of the biofilms, which encase like parasites and everything on the inner lining of the gut. If we don't get through those, we're not going to get to the hidden cause and actually eradicate. And then we added in specific probiotics to heal the inner lining of the gut so that we were able to add in so much more food into your diet, expand it without having reactions. So over those 12 weeks, we were working on healing the gut, getting rid of the bad. We are focusing on stress management techniques, how to make this work with your lifestyle, things to boost our immune system, all naturally. And what happens is we actually ended up getting the immune system up, we get the bowels moving regularly, and hormones started balancing. So with that started coming some weight loss. And we were actually not even training a lot and we were increasing your food.
Yeah.
So you want to kind of share a little bit about our body stats prior, where we're at, and kind of what changes we made to that.
Yeah. So I think I was at I know I was like in the 120s, which not that I have a problem ever being that, but like where I had been my whole life, it wasn't good waking. I could tell like felt like fat, which I was just like, I was so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable. And I was like, I'm not buying new clothes. Like, and I was like, this has to get better. And I just, I was not like disgusted with myself, but I just hated it. I hated the feeling every day. And then my waist, I know I was in the 30s on that. Like, I think like low to mid 30s with that. I remember we had the conversation of don't focus on the scale. And that was a big thing and I did see how much, if you stood on it like in the morning versus the afternoon versus the evening, like there was never a consistent thing. And just even the water intake to get that up made a huge difference, just being hydrated properly. Because I was never great about that, especially with my job. I didn't know how to manage it with being stuck in an OR all day and not having access. Like I can't just get up and go to the bathroom when I want to go to the bathroom. And so you helped me work on that, which was huge over the time of like just working out and then increasing more calories, which I thought I ate a lot. So when you had me start on that, I was like, wow, okay, I guess I'm not really eating a lot at all. Like it seemed like I was. And I was like, dang, okay. Nope. And that was an adjustment. But as like you kept increasing the calories and we were doing it, I would get more hungry. And my husband would tell me like, just wait and see. Cause like he used to bodybuild and do all that. And he's like, he goes, it'll change. He goes, your body's going to like flip and you're going to be hungry, like way more. He goes, it's not going to be, he goes, you're not going to feel like this all the time. He was right. And you guys were right. And, after like with the dieting, like with the calories and the working out, even though like you said, you know, you adjusted it to my schedule in the beginning, especially to make it less overwhelming, I could start to see, and the pictures were huge, like you said, every week, like don't focus on the scale, look at your pictures. And then you started, because sometimes I felt like my weight kind of stayed the same, or mainly it was like the waist I felt like just wasn't budging. And you knew that I was getting frustrated with it because I was like, why isn't this changing? But then you're like, look at the pictures. And you could finally see, I mean, I could tell with the bloating too, but you really can't. It's when you're looking at yourself every day, like all day, not all day, but you're looking at yourself daily,
Yeah.
like a picture from like a week change, you can tell like, okay, the bloating's coming down. Like you could see, you know, I guess I don't know how to say, but like the fat like going away, the definition like starting to come back, like the leaning out, I guess the leaning out was like coming back because I know muscle weighs more than fat. So I was like, okay, I need to stop focusing on certain things and just look at the pictures and how I'm feeling. And then, I mean, I think my weights, the last weight when I weighed myself was like, I was down to 117, 118. And then my waist is down to like 20, I'm not like 28, 27. So I kind of stopped focusing so much on what the number said and just like how I felt and like the pictures. And that's been huge. Like I can see, like, even now, just like going to the gym, like I don't feel bloated like I did. I don't look bloated. Like, you know, I feel like my stomach's more flat again, which like was a huge, like huge for me because I just hated that feeling like love kids, want kids, but I'm not trying to look pregnant for my whole
Yeah.
entire life. Like,
Yeah. And you came to me eating anywhere from like 800 to like 1100 on a good day with your calories. And you were
yeah.
around like 122, 123. And
Mhm.
now I think we hit a low of maybe 117 and we get
Mhm.
almost 1700
Yeah.
calories
Mhm.
now
Yeah.
and sometimes a little bit more. So it just shows you. And we're training guys only 3 days a week full body because with your schedule and your long 12 plus hour work shifts, when
Mhm.
we're just go, 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 we have to optimize our sleep and our stress. So it just shows you that you don't have to be training 7 days a week. When we want to go for true fat loss, we have to get to the root cause. For you, you had the COVID.
The COVID thing, yes, I had COVID and I definitely had the like long haulers. Like I had a lot of the effects from that. That was
Yeah.
affecting me.
So
Mhm.
it shows that when we focus more on balancing the hormones and doing things to bring the stress down, you don't have to be doing these extremes. You're eating more food, you're dropping pounds and inches, having body composition changes, and your health is coming back
Yeah.
with just 3 days a week of training. And that's what like a big, very important thing that I always want to share people is we always think more. And it's about training smarter versus harder and stronger and sexier with age. It doesn't matter how old you guys get. It's like when we do it the right way, you guys can get sustainable results. And that's like the key thing. How soon into doing our program did you actually start seeing results and the bloating and all that? Because I know so many people come to me and they're like, Elizabeth, I've been to every GI doctor. I tried every diet out there. And what makes you different? Why are you going to get that bloating, that gas gone? Because I know it's like we spend so much money and we get afraid to move forward because we never get results.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like within like the first week, honestly, I could start to see the difference. Like it was starting to come down. Like, and then it just continued to progress. I mean, now it's like such a massive difference. It's crazy. And it's been, I think now it's like 4 months, you know, but like even before that, like it was very fast. I feel like it was in that first week or so that I was like, I could already notice the change.
And were there any like unexpected benefits or results that you got from my program that you didn't think you were going to get?
Like the stress stuff that I didn't really think like that was, you know, like when you started helping me managing that I didn't it really expect in the program. I felt it was I like was thinking it's more like, you know, diet, exercise is kind of like, you know, the hormones like is kind of where I really thought it was going to go. And then you were helping me like, you know, you're helping me with my sleep. Didn't expect that. So that was huge. I sleep great now. for so many reasons that you've helped me, like how to like manage my stress in a more appropriate way that's like less overwhelming and makes the week easier, and the day easier. It just like comes down to like the whole picture of like, okay, one thing at a time. And then, so those were huge just because my life is so stressful and the sleep has always been a struggle. Like I wouldn't sleep throughout the night. I'd fall asleep. I'd wake up. I was like, it was like that wired but tired, like all that. And now I
Yeah.
sleep great. Like we were saying the other night, I was like, I think World War V could have happened and I would have never known. He goes, yeah, I don't think you moved. And I was like, nope, I don't think you moved. I don't think I moved till the alarm went off. Like,
I love
sometimes
it.
he'll be like, he's like, are you alive? Like, he'll like, he's like, okay, she's breathing. And so I'm just out now.
That is honestly, it's so important because a lot of us, when we do have the gut issues and we have all these, we have a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. We hold on to our poop, making it harder to go. And people think, people think when joining a program, it's going to be so extreme and you're going to have to be so rigid with everything. You can't go out. You can't eat with family. You have to be so on point. With my program, were you feeling like how are we able to find that balance with you
Oh
with
my gosh,
having your, go for
you
it.
were incredible. Like I remember I had a trainer or two and I told him, I was like, I don't like this food. Like I have like texture issues with certain foods and that's always been me my whole life. Like I've come a long way. My mom always was like, God, you were so picky when you were little. And she's like, you've literally like are shocking now with what you'll eat. So there are certain textures or like, we travel a lot. So, or, we were going to the Caribbean quite a bit and, it's pretty, it's not easy just to eat how I was eating here down there. Or, if I wanted to have a drink when we were on vacation and I was nervous because I was like, okay, I know how this has gone in the past. Like they're going to tell me like, absolutely not. Like you have to eat this. Like there's no wiggle room. There's no compromise. There's like, it's one way or the other. And like, that's it. And you have to stick with it. And I'm just like, okay, like we'll see how this goes. And then, you were totally different. Like you worked with me on like the texture stuff. I was still willing to try stuff. It wasn't like I was like, no, but there was just certain foods where I was like, Elizabeth, I was like, I can't do it. It's just not in the books for me. It'll never be in the books for me. I was like, can't do that one. You worked with me on that. Going on vacation. I was stressed out to go on vacation just because I knew how I was going to be down there. And I was like, I don't know, like how I'm going to be able to, like, I bought the scale. I did all this before we even talked. And I was like, I'm going to try. And then you were just like, you made it so simple to travel where I could still basically maintain what we were doing to like the best that I could down there. And I still felt fine and felt good. And, I could still have a drink. You'd made that easy. And I was like, I literally was like, okay, I can breathe. And like, I was able to enjoy my trip so much by still maintaining what we were doing, like to the best of that I had with the options down there.
That's what it's about. It's like
And just
people,
life in general, like you made it simple. Like if I had to go out to dinner, like I could still go out to dinner. Like it wasn't like, nope, I can't do this because I have to eat this way. Like, I've known somebody who like they wouldn't eat when they went out to dinner because they were so strict, like I have to stick to this. And it was like, there's so many ways around that now, especially like with how the restaurant world is too, like they work with you so much more. Like you can't have certain things. Like I remember in the very beginning, we went out and called and I was like, can you do, basically ghee, like, can you clarify the butter? And like, oh yeah, no problem. We do that. I had crab legs. Didn't have butter on my, like any of my stuff. Like it was still delicious. Like I had no issues. So there's so many ways to do it without feeling like you can't basically live life anymore. And you're still feeling great.
yeah, I think that part is like what truly to me hits home because I felt like I had so much fear of eating out and I felt like I couldn't do things and I would really seclude myself. And when we have all these gut issues, we feel like we have to do that.
Yeah.
So I like to make it to where you're able to do things where you don't have to have fear because you shouldn't have to. Like you should be able to have fun. You shouldn't be sitting there stressed out about I can't have this and I have to watch everybody else eat because I'm going to react to something.
Yeah.
I don't want that for you. So I'm so happy that we were able to do it. And I just want people to know, like, you don't have to, cut everything out of your life. It's about finding balance so you're able to heal your body, feel amazing, but also able to live your life to its fullest potential.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many options. And like, it was also for me too, okay, I don't feel good if I eat that. Like, I don't want that. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you finally feel so much better, you don't feel like you're missing out on certain things. You're like, okay, I just don't need that, like And then you look at stuff of what's in it and you're like, yeah, okay, I really don't want that. But, it's like once you start feeling better, it's like, I feel like your eyes almost open up in a different way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And since we finished our program, because I'm all for sustainability, how has your health continued to improve? Do you feel like you've learned things that kind of so that you don't need me and you're able to take your health into your own journey now?
Yeah. I feel like some of the stuff, like, like my community stuff that you put me on for a little bit, like now if I feel like I'm starting to get sick, like I'll pop that right away, which that stuff works like, that works like gold. Just if like my life is starting to get stressful and I'm like falling off the track of like all this stuff, I kind of like go back to like what we talked about. And like you've given me so many tools of if this is happening or I'm feeling this way or whatever's going on, it's like, okay, I can do this. And like that helps. And so I feel like you've put like a ton of tools in my toolbox that now it's not like I'm like, what do I do? Like, trying to figure it out on my own.
And how has this impacted your quality of life from before everything going on to where we're at now?
Oh my God, significantly. Like my energy's better, my mood's better. I'm not so stressed out all the time. I love working out. I hate when I miss it now. My husband and I are like on a regular schedule with working out. Like it's kind of got him back into it. So like it's funny like the dominoes effect it has. Like when you start to feel better and take your health in a good direction, it's almost like a dominoes effect. And it kind of got him back on track because we both kind of fell off the wagon. My mom, like, I'm working with my mom regularly. Like she loves it. So, it's just been a really, really good. It's a lifestyle change. Like this isn't, I know for some people it's more of, they're trying to fit into something or do something for like a short period of time to get the results. And then they kind of fall back off. And it's like, I don't like how I feel now if I don't work out or, I had a day where it was like super stressed and I didn't get to eat how I like wanted to eat, I like how I feel now and I want to maintain that.
I love that. And if there was someone out there listening that has similar health issues and like, I tried everything, nothing's working, what advice would you give them if they're in a similar position?
I'd rather say you haven't tried everything yet because if they haven't tried you, I would say after personally having gone through it, like I wouldn't think twice about doing it with you. I mean, you see the results so quick. And like even, how I was struggling like I felt like my waist wasn't changing, even though it was. You're very compassionate. So you make us understand in a way that we don't feel like frustrated or bad or even my husband said like when we were in the Caribbean and like we were FaceTiming and he was in the kitchen and he could hear because I'd have my AirPods in or whatever. He's like, wow. He goes, not that I was talking to you. He goes, but I've never experienced a trainer like her. Like he said, you care so much. And that was just from like, maybe like a 5-minute listen of like what we were talking about. And I agree. Like, I think the big difference with you is you really truly care. It's not just another, like, another client, another paycheck. Like you can tell how much you care. And I think that's what sets you apart from literally everybody else. And and what you do actually works. And so I would tell the person like, don't even think twice about it. Like she's going to change your life.
You're going to make me cry. I love you so much. And
Oh, you too.
I'm so grateful. Thank you for coming on today because I just know that your story is going to inspire so many women to show them that you can overcome anything. You inspire me, babe. Like seriously, you do. Your mom does. Your couple goals with your man. I need to find a workout man over here.
I know. I mean, we work out on vacation together now. Like we joined a gym when we were in Turks a few weeks ago. Like, and we loved it. Like we would bike to the gym. We'd do our workout, bike back. Go get like a healthy breakfast, and we'd walk like 2 miles on the beach every day. Like it's fun having somebody to do it with. But just when you feel, like he was like, wow, he goes. It's like, I need to get back on track. He's like, and then he would feel better. And it is, like I said, it's like a dominoes effect. And, when you feel good and other people like even see it, like, I feel like it also inspires other people like, okay, I want to feel like that,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it really does. You create that energy coming at you and then your career gets better. Like your relationships get better. Everything gets better because you actually feel good and you have your life back.
Yeah. And I think sometimes you don't even realize like how bad you felt till you feel better.
Yeah.
Like you didn't realize you could even feel that good. Yeah.